What's up, everybody? It is the weekend. Welcome to the channel. It's the 14th of May, 5:15 in the morning on the East Coast, taking a look at a little wrap up here from the week and from Friday. Nice bullish day in the markets on Friday, getting some of those rallies we have been patiently waiting for. Taking a look at the overall markets for Friday's close, Dow up 1.47%. Not too big of a day for the Dow, but hey, we'll take it. 466.36. S&Ps up 2.39%. Nice day for the S&Ps. 93.81 in the green. 4,023.89. The Nasdaq up 3.82%. Nasdaq had a nice day. Up 434.04. We are going to take a look at a TQQQ product as well. The Russell up 3%, up 53.28. VIX getting a little smackdown, finally down 9%, but nothing too crazy. So nice bullish day in the markets for Friday. We're talking stock market today. So let's take a look at some market sentiment. Fear and greed, that would be the CNN, sitting at a 12 still. So definitely down in the good area for the contrarians. Plenty of fear. Over at the IBD bulls and bears numbers, these actually aren't IBD's numbers. These are the American Association of Individual Investors. 27.6 for the bulls, 40.8 for the bears. We have not seen these numbers in about 2 years. And then before that, it was probably another 2 or 3 years. And then a couple of years before that. So it's very rare we get these numbers. It takes a long time. It takes a lot of either sharp pullbacks in the market or pullbacks to choppy action, which is more like what we're seeing right now, which also is more like what we saw back in, I believe it was 2016, 2017. And we're going to check that out on the charts. So let's take a look at the SPX for Friday. SPX, like I said, had a nice day, up 93.81, 2.39%. I was thinking early Friday morning, I was doing some number picking for the upside for SPX, and my guess for that day was up 109.56. Didn't quite get there. Looks like we went up 93.81, but hey, I'll take it. Up 100 points for the SPX is one hell of a day. Did we gap up? It doesn't look like we have a gap there. I'll have to look at a different charting platform. So that is the SPX. Why do I show you the SPX? Well, we're going to take a look at it right now. So right here on Wednesday and Thursday, we had the AAII numbers come out, and our bulls are at 27.6 for the bulls. 27.6. And that is as of this week, the week of the 14th of May. So if we take a little bit of a kickback, and we are in 2022, if we go all the way back to 2020, interesting times would be the least I could say. Down in here on the SPX, we had similar AA numbers that we have right now. So our numbers back in the C19 crazy sell-off we saw in the market. Let's see what that was. basically top to bottom, 34% sell off. Where are we at right now? So top to bottom, 20% or so. So we had a sharper sell-off in the 2020 C19 crazy market, but our market sentiment was very similar. So keep that in mind. And you see what happened here. A massive, massive rally to the upside. Let me find a different tool here. Massive rally to follow. I mean, crazy numbers. On the S&P is basically from 2,000 to 4,000. So do we double from here? Do we go from 4 to 8? Well, keep in mind, similar AA numbers, similar market sentiment, a lot of fear in the markets, perhaps different fear over here than over here. So let's take another look here. Let's take a jump back into this time frame over in here. So here we are back in 2016. Were you in the markets in 2016? Let me know down in the comments. Going back a couple years for sure. So back in 2016, I think it was in the early, basically February of 2016. What did we have that we had these past two examples? We had very similar AAI numbers. There was a lot of fear over in here. I remember when these markets bottomed. I participated in that bottom. I traded that bottom. Let me take a zoom in over here so you can kind of get a good visual of what's going on. So right in here is where we had those similar bottoms, similar AAI numbers. We undercut these two lows. We undercut it, rallied up, undercut that, off to the races. So what was that rally good for? Well, let's take a look. So we'll basically go bottom to top, 62% rally. If we go to this bottom tick, 29% rally. So you tell me down in the comments, what's going to happen over here? I have my idea of what's going to happen over here, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. When we get these crazy market sell-offs, some kind of a massive reaction to the upside takes place. What's coming? You tell me. Of course, the old adage is, this time's different. Well, history would give us a hint that that is not true, and that usually can get you in some trouble in especially the markets, that this time is different. So if you have a trading plan, please stick to it and give it enough time to work out for you. Let's take another look real quick while we're on SPX before we jump off of SPX. What happened down in here in the 08 and 09 sell-off? I was personally too young to be trading. I guess I wouldn't say too young, but I was not thinking about the markets, that's for sure. What happened down here in 2009 at that crazy housing sell-off? This right here looks similar to what the market's going through right now. Of course, maybe we didn't hit the bottom yet. Maybe we have a little bit lower to go. Maybe we chop around before taking off into a huge rally. What happened down in here, though? What did we have? We had similar AAI high numbers once again. And I don't recall this. I was definitely not paying attention to anything going on in the world. There was a lot of fear back in here when I look at history, the housing market. Would you step up to the plate and be buying the market down in here with all that fear in the mainstream media? Well, hindsight, if we look back here, let's see what it looked like. Not too bad. You'd be getting into the markets, let's call it the SPX, at the mid 600s. Where are we at today? 4,000. So you tell me, when we get these massive fear events in the markets, market sentiment is in the dumps. We have really great AAII numbers. What follows soon thereafter? Massive market rallies for many, many months, if not many, many years. So the big question is, are we close to a market bottom? Will we see the S&Ps at new all-time highs in the next couple months? Well, if you're going off history, history says yes, that will take place. So that is the SPX. Let's go check out the T triple Qs. So this is the Ultra QQQ. And let's see what kind of data we have here. The T triple Qs have gotten wrecked recently. Down in the bottom was down here in the 20s. So let's take a look back here. T triple Qs. Let's go back to the C19 lows. Where was that on the T triple Qs? Now this thing has split, so the prices were different, but the chart does stay the same. But for the data, T triple Qs down here in the $10 range. Now, that was not the actual price then. I remember I was trading this, but it was much lower than where it ultimately ended up in here. Massive fear event, global. Market sentiment, check. What happened after that? Massive rally to all-time highs. Pullback, rally, pullback, off to the races. So, question is this time different? Well, I know what I think. You let me know down in the video comments. Everybody has their own opinion. Everybody is able to state that opinion, of course. That is what the great part of the video comments are. So, are we close to a bottom? Are we not close to a bottom? You let me know. Does a lower high come in, a higher low, and then we are just off to the races? That is the question. Down here in the 20s for the T triple Qs. History says when we get to these levels, heads up. What happened down here in 2019? Big rally to follow back into all-time highs. What else do you want to check out? Let's check out SPY. This is the S&P 500 ETF. Once again, very similar look to the SPX. 2019 bottom, massive rally. C19 bottom, very big rally. Let's take a look over on some other years over in here. 2019 bottoms, excuse me, this is even going back further, 2016. Massive rally to follow. And then if you were If you were older than me, you were back in here trading, probably back in the '09, like I had mentioned. I was definitely not looking at the markets. Could care less. Bottom, massive rally. And you're like, well, that's great. How do you spot the bottom? One of many ways. One way is keeping track of market sentiment and when it gets to an extreme. So that extreme can be to the upside. That extreme can be to the downside. The problem with trying to spot tops is markets can continue to grind higher. So you can use market sentiment to kind of give you a warning that the markets are getting, the euphoria is super high in the markets and perhaps they're getting a little overbought. But they can, like I said, they can just grind and grind and grind much, much higher. One of the keys is to finding a market top is looking for a lower high to come in. So what I mean is rally, finding a little bit of trouble here, sharp sell-off, rally up, lower high. Pullback, lower low, shakeout, noise, still a lower high, much lower than here. And then we have that very sharp sell-off, undercut those two major support areas. So keep your eye basically for a lower high. Now, of course, markets can top in other ways, not really the indexes, but stocks. Obviously, they can have a parabolic blow off top, and then that can basically be it. But the indexes will usually kind of take their time to sell off. Unless it's a news-related event like you saw back in here in the C19 sell-off. I mean, that basically happened in a couple weeks or so. But this big gap down here below the 21-day was a huge, huge warning of some lower prices to come here. If we go back to, let's see here, where are we at 2019? 2019 was definitely another sharp sell-off. But we trickled up here, started to roll over, and right here is a lower candle. That is a warning sign. Sell-off, rally, another lower high, undercut, chopped around, basically found resistance once again, and boom, bottom comes in. So just wanted to share that with you and kind of where we're at as of this week in the markets. Of course, perhaps the bottom's not in. Maybe we're not even close. But if you're looking at market sentiment and what it has done in the past using history, it tells us that we are near some kind of a bottom here. Whether it's already in or whether it comes in the next couple days or in the next couple weeks, market sentiment does say, hey, we're close to a bottom. Keep your eyes out. Perhaps start accumulating some stocks. So the question is, let me know, where will we be in a couple months? All-time highs? Is this nothing but a bear rally and we're heading lower? You tell me. Of course, both scenarios can play out. But if you're looking at market sentiment goes with the latter, which is there's higher prices coming here for the markets. So, all right, guys, go ahead, take a look over at our Patreon page. We have a couple products on there for trading signals. Check out some of the other links down in the video description. It does help support the channel. Consider subscribing to the channel if you have not yet done so. Let me know what products you trade in the markets. Do you just trade crypto? Do you trade stocks? Do you trade these ETFs? Where do you think the market's going? Do you think we're heading much lower? And or not? Maybe you think we're heading back up to all-time highs. I know I'm bullish, but of course, that's just one person's opinion. I could be wrong, not financial advice. Perhaps we head much, much lower. Time will tell, but I know where I stand. So, all right, guys, go ahead over to TradingView, toss in SPY, check out the TQQQs, check out SPX, keep your eyes on the Sunday evening futures market open. That'll give us a little indication of perhaps what is to come early Monday morning. Have a great rest of your weekend. I will be keeping my eye on the crypto markets since, of course, they just keep trading around the clock. All right, guys, take care. Thanks again.